so he's now presidentially ordering it. But there is a formal vetting process that makes no mention of the tremendous power of the White House and the pressure the president's brought upon them. And so President Obama, it's essentially, despite the interagency facade, it's a unilateral process. The president wants them gone. Now, we also make a great ballyhoo about vetting the countries that are getting them. We've sent them to Saudi Arabia, to Gulf states, to Uruguay, but really there's not a serious follow-up thereafter. And so up to a third of them have gone back to the battlefield.
Now, is that a fact? Up a third of those released from Guantanamo Bay have gone back to fight against the USA. Can you back that up and source it for us?
Well, the government admits, I think it's 17.4% are confirmed as having gone back to jihad. Another almost 13% are suspected of possibly having gone back, which tells me they've gone back. But even if it was only one who was released and blew up a busload of school children or an American Army vehicle on convoy, even if it's only one, it matters. And Guantanamo, whether or not you think it was a great idea, you need some place to hold these people. When we took all of them prisoner, we had not thought it through. And the Bush administration made two mistakes. The first one was capturing all these guys, many of whom were worthless. They should have been killed on the battlefield. And the second mistake was when the global left and media turned Guantanamo into this house of horrors, the Bush administration didn't fight back.
No, I know. I've been down there twice. It's not a house of horrors. But I will say this. In our society, it is not just to keep someone in detention without a trial. And the military has not been able to set up a tribunal system to try these people. So therefore, you give the left and the sympathizers of, not the sympathizers of the jihadists, but the sympathizers of people who say you can't just keep them forever. You give them a huge cannon because they haven't been adjudicated properly. They can be under military law, and they haven't been. So that's a legitimate criticism of the Guantanamo system, is it not?
Yeah, and it has happened because even under Bush and Cheney, the military justice system had become so politically correct that it wasn't possible to try them the way we needed to, the way we tried saboteurs or terrorists in World War II. And so, I mean, you and I do have a divergence on this issue, Bill. I don't think known terrorists have any rights, legal or human or otherwise.
Then we have to define that, Colonel, because now we live in a country that has a legal system. All right. So if you believe, and the majority of Americans believe, that if we capture a terrorist and the evidence against the terrorist is overwhelming, they should be incarcerated forever. But some of that evidence has to be made public. You just can't snatch people up and throw them in a dungeon, no matter if it's Guantanamo or anywhere else, forever. Like you're the oppressor. It's got to be some kind of methodical way to